I denounce in strongest terms the illegal impeachment by the Edo State House of Assembly over trumped-up charges. This is not just an attack on me as an individual, but on the very democratic principle that we hold there. It is a dangerous descent into dictatorship and a threat to the foundation of our democracy. Let it be clear that this impeachment was hushed because of my ambition to contest the Edo State 2024 governorship election under the People's Democratic Party, PDP, an ambition that is a legal right to all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a sad reality that in our political landscape, ambition is met with resistance, and those in power seek to silence opposition through illegitimate means. I have dedicated my life to serving the good people of Edo State with integrity and honesty. I have worked tirelessly to improve the life of our citizens. I have upheld the values of democracy and justice, and yet, in return, I am faced with baseless accusations and a blatant disregard for due process and rule of law. The allegations brought against me are nothing more than a smokescreen to conceal the true motive behind this impeachment. It's a flagrant abuse of power and a betrayal of the trust that the people of Edo have placed in their elected officials.
The impeachment of Philip Shaibu, whom you just heard from, is perhaps the biggest political story out of Nigeria right now. Omobayo, Marvelous Godwins is now the new deputy governor. He was sworn in yesterday. So things actually happened in quick succession. It started with an impeachment notice served on him after the petition was read out at the State House of Assembly over misconduct bordering on perjury and leaking of government secrets, and he went through the whole. Eventually he was impeached yesterday, and quickly a new deputy governor was sworn in. That's why we're having this conversation with the majority leader of the Edo House of Assembly, Mr. Charity Agubari again joins us via Zoom. Mr. Charity, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Good morning, thank you so much. Good morning, Nigeria.
Well, I can see that Edo has a new deputy governor, and before I take your reaction on all what's played out yesterday, not too long after I was sworn in, the new deputy governor, Mr. Philip Shaibu, the former deputy governor, as you can see, made some statement, and I want to relate some of the statement to what happened in the House. He said that history will judge you people at the House quite harshly for not standing against what he considers degeneration into dictatorship. How would you respond to that?
I would say that history will judge us very, very well, but in the positive. History will judge us as those caliber of upright men, people who know their audience and who know their legislative responsibility, and who took it up at a time it was needed most in the annals of Nigeria. History will judge us as men who know the distinction between legislative duties, executive functions, and judicial oversight in society. History will judge us as those class of men who know that a man who is in a position of governor or deputy governor operating an immunity that is almost exclusive under Section 308 of the Constitution needs to be guided so as it was not take over under Section 188 of the Constitution with the data of impeachment if the person behaves in a way that puts society in disrepute and puts his office in a state that the minute who carries on as if he is not unto himself. The drafters of our constitution were not fools. when they decided that we are giving you this privilege of immunity, absolute immunity from civil and criminal responsibility. But because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, the same constitution also provided for a way to caution an occupant of that office, whether governor or deputy governor, whether president or vice president, by way of an impeachment provision in section 188 of the Constitution. And I tell you that the Edo State House of Assembly parades some of the best caliber of legislators in Nigeria, being people that have made their mark in their professional calling and have done so well in their personal pursuits of life. Now we have taken the responsibility to carry the destiny of Edo people on our shoulders by being a house not only to make laws for the country and for the state as we are already doing, and which we are doing very effectively because of the results that have shown out over the
Majority Leader, if I may just come in quickly here, I get the background you're laying, but the crux of that impeachment process was you accused him of perjury and leaking government information. Are you saying that he's been found guilty of that? What exactly did you find so we can know why you instituted this impeachment in the first place? So the committee submitted its findings. What did you find? Did you find him guilty of those accusations?
Okay, let me make a distinction here. A legislative proceeding for impeachment is not the same thing as a court process for this. What we are looking for is not this. It is whether allegation is proved. What is the allegation? You see, they gave it a tag that makes people now start looking like, oh, we are doing a criminal prosecution. What we are doing is not a criminal prosecution. What we said is that the former deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, filed a suit where he alleged that he has been stopped from attending the executive function, that is the state executive committee, which was every Wednesday in a new state. And that before that is after he tried it, the day he declared was 17th of July, 2023. On the 19th of July was in that meeting. He said that they attended the meeting. So if he is saying that he was not allowed to attend the executive meeting, whereas he attended even 2 days after this allegation was made, is that not a falsehood? So when you say falsehood, for the purpose of disreputating the government, because the government is not just about the executive, it's about the whole government of the state, including the legislation. So that was one of the allegations. The second allegation was that in that process, it disclosed very sensitive. If you see those things that they disclose for public play, you will be shocked yourself. Things that are bordering on security of a state, things that are bordering on the health, the financial health of a state, those things that came to his knowledge just because he's deputy government, because any other state would not have access to that those information. And those information have to be preserved. So we said that by doing that, look at the 2 points. By doing that, he has brought the state into disrepute.
So you're saying, Majority Leader, right? So Majority Leader, you're saying,
in accordance with section 188 sub 11, not in accordance with the law or with criminal intent.
Right.
In accordance with section 188 sub 11, which says that it is the state house of assembly that determines.
I understand that, Majority Leader. So you're saying that those reasons for him saying he was not allowed to attend a meeting which he considered a lie or perjury, and some of the things he said concerning security and the financial health of the state, those were enough reasons to remove him from office.
You said what?
I said that those reasons which you gave, saying that he was not allowed to attend a certain meeting or function, which you consider a perjury, and him disclosing security issues and financial health of the state.
Yes.
You consider those reasons enough to remove him as deputy governor, bearing in mind that some will say, well, politicians, those in government from time to time, tell things and they don't even fulfill them. So they consider that a perjury against the people in the first place, and they are never impeached for that reason. So you consider those things enough to remove him from office?
Well, I think it is in this regard. Section 188 sub-11 makes the function of what is just discovered very subjective. It is not put on an objective scale. Whether if you apply it here, it will work, or whether if you apply it there, it will work. What is just misconduct in section 188 sub-11 of the Constitution is what the state has agreed thinks is just misconduct, or the national assembly thinks is just misconduct. The disclosure of those security threatening facts in the public, in the thinking of the those states as assembly, is just misconduct, and we brought it out, alleging this, and we gave him notice, we gave the former deputy governor notice that this act that we have done to us is just misconduct. Come and explain to us. If you should come, a family was set up by the city, another arm of government, made up of 7 independent men, and he was also invited. He sent his lawyer to say that he has tried the suit in court, and he refused to answer to that. And the clearly turned out a report that on the ground of what, on the ground of disclosing public official security, that ground is proved. What happens is that the panel of 7 independent men, or rather persons, put him as violating his oath of office that he will keep the information that comes to his notice as deputy governor secret. But on the area that he gave false information, they said that there was no intent to perjure. So because there was no intent to perjure, that aspect of it was not proved. But for the area that bordered on official secret disclosure, they said that it was the area was proved. So why are we using the word proved is that it's not a function of guilt. Yes, they said the same set of facts can constitute a criminal allegation for prosecution in court. But this is not a court prosecution. This is a legislative process.
Majority Leader, I mean, anyone who wants to ask, I mean, I remember there were apologies made by Mr. Shaibu, there were resolutions, and somehow we thought things were getting better. Do you think there was no other way to resolve this issue? What could he have done differently to avoid this impeachment? Was it necessary at this time?
Well, the only way to avoid the impeachment is for him to have gone out to answer to the allegations against him. If he had come to the House of Assembly, for example, and explained the reason why he disclosed official secrets, to the satisfaction of the House members, the matter will be dropped there and then. Or if after the matter proceeded to the panel level, the panel of 7, he has appeared before them to say, oh, these allegations are not actually offensive. Yeah, I didn't do it with intent to bring the state to disrepute. What I did was justified, and he gives his justification. He will be let off the go. But instead, he treated both the House of Assembly and the panel set up by the CG with ignominy. What did he do? He went to the court, to the panel, to intend to intimidate them with filing a suit in court. A suit that was filed after the panel was constituted in flagrant disregard of the provision of the Constitution that set up the court. I think it seems to think that the court is the master of the legislation. So if you go to court, you have to come to the legislation.
If I'm a Majority Leader, If I'm in Boston, there are those, when they look at the provision of the Constitution 188 that you are citing, subsection 11, what constitute misconduct, and which is technically subjective to the decision and the deduction of the State House of Assembly. They may argue that it may be the Assembly grasping at straws, because this steals off from the disagreement between him and his principal over succession issues. But don't you think the reason why he decided not to show up or decided to put up a lawsuit is because Abinishi knew that this is going to be against him at the end of the day, given the quick succession of how things happened yesterday? In 30 seconds.
Well, he should have known that if there's anywhere he will be protected in the state as the former deputy governor, State House of Assembly. Because ours is the only state of assembly in Nigeria that pride itself with autonomy, because by virtue of section 121 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the State of Assembly upon inauguration pursued the fund management bill, which was passed into law and was accepted by the government. And upon assent by the government, the House of Assembly is financially independent. So we do not even depend on the nod of the executive to operate. So he said, as a former member of the House of Assembly, he should have faith in the House of Assembly. They are coming to present, but this has been the past now. He did not have faith in us. He did not come to us to justify his action. And the process has to follow. And I must tell you that the process that led to his impeachment yesterday was very, very clean, very, very sanguine, and his impeachment is unimpeachable.
All right. Majority Leader, there's something that is a fact that is on record. While he's been impeached, a new deputy governor is now in place. We never heard from his own side of the story as far as that panel is concerned. But hey, this is politics that plays out. We must thank you for coming on the program, and we wish Edo people the very best at the end of the day. And we see that it's a continuous conversation. So we maybe get to hear from Mr. Philip Shaibu a lot more than the recording he did and the House of Assembly, and see how this politics pans out eventually as the state heads to another election to vote for a new governor. Charity.
Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to eliminate. I'm happy that you are able to also make some clarification, because the first two are there so much.
All right, Charity Agwabari again, Majority Leader, Edo State House of Assembly. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
You are blessed, brother.
Well, from the politics of Edo State, we'll switch gears now to that very controversial issue around the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road that will eventually affect some businesses across states. But the one in focus is the Lagos Park right here. The CEO will be talking to us after this break. Join us again.